Anything is possible. It started with a dream.
Hi everybody, it's Cindy here with Stampin Creations. I am starting this week off with a couple cards in my 3-week series of fall cards. So we are going to use 2 of the suites from the Occasions book that goes live September 6th. So if you have not got a copy of that, please reach out to me and I will get one into the mail to you as soon as possible. I absolutely fell in love with the autumn suites, and I love autumn papers, that kind of thing, but these ones were just over the top, and I love them so much that I thought I had to do a series because I'm not going to have enough time to do all the classes that I wanted to do. So that means for you, you get a bonus 6 cards that you're going to see over the course of the next 3 weeks. I might even throw in a couple extra as we get going, and so you can see how incredibly beautiful this paper and suites actually are. So let's get started, and we will start with our very first card. Okay, so the 2 sets that I'm going to showcase in this video are Rustic Crate and Autumn Leaves. Okay, so, and of course the paper that coordinates with this I've shown, but it is just wow, 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 wow. So I loved this Autumn Leaves more for the font and the words, but also the leaves. But what I also loved about this one was that it has this amazing coordinating die set. So the really great thing about this die set is that it comes with like some of the duplicates. So I have 2 of these leaves. I have 2 of these leaves. I have this large maple leaf, and then the vines and stuff that go with it. So you get quite a few dies here, as well as these. And then these here will actually leave like almost like an embossed look on your card, like a dotted line on your card. Super, super cute. So I definitely got that one. And then this one intrigued me because I absolutely love this. But I love the fact that this is not just a fall set. I could use this for Christmas. I can use this for all occasions, right? There's nothing in here that says Christmas or fall. So it's an all occasion type of a set. And this one as well comes with some really cool dies. Now this is a crate die. In the videos coming up in the next couple weeks, you're going to see how to put these together. If you're on my team, you're going to see how to put those together during our team meeting this month. These gloves are adorable. They actually cut out individually. And then there's this little hello, which I thought was super darling. And just like the front of the crate for like the label, that kind of thing. Anyway, so let's get started. And we will make 2 cards together today. I'm trying to make some room here. I've got wires everywhere, so my apologies. Just trying to make some room. All right. So this card that I'm going to start with is not your traditional fall color cards. This one is actually using Moody Mauve, which is, or mauve, depending on where you live and how you pronounce that. But this is why I wanted to showcase this, because I wanted to show you that this paper is not, like the back of it is got gold foil with the Moody Mauve. Which is incredible. It's hard to pick what side you want, but I'm going to use the leaf side just because I really want to showcase how you can make a beautiful card with this paper, because it's not your traditional colors. So it kind of throws people for the loop, but this side is just incredible as well. So I've got 3 pieces of Designer Series paper. I've got my very vanilla cardstock. I've done my die cutting ahead of time just so that I didn't bore you and have to run out to the other room to do my die cutting. And then I have a piece of cardstock here that if you are in my in Color Club, you would have seen this layout recently. And then I have my belly band. Okay. So the very first thing that we're going to do is I have 3 score lines here. And then the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this card in half. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this piece back. So this is already pre-scored for me. And then I have another score line here, and I'm going to fold this one forward. Okay, so super, super fun. So now let's go ahead and put our designer series paper down so we can see how this puzzle is going to come together. So this large piece, again, it's a shame to cover up this beautiful gold foiled paper, but that's okay. I have some other cards that I have used that will have this. If you're coming to the soiree at the end of October, we do have one station dedicated to this all autumn suite. So you'll get a chance to play with the paper, see it, touch it, feel it. And we've made some awesome cards for that. So my designer series paper goes here. I'm going to close this one back, and I'm going to use my thicker designer series paper here. Now, if you would like the measurements for these cards, please be sure to comment, and I will get those out. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my last piece of designer series paper here. So this does use a little bit extra paper because it's a 5.5 card, not 5 1/4, but you absolutely could adjust your card size to reflect the 4 or 5 1/4 if you chose. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just go ahead and glue this on the inside. I'm not going to do any stamping on this one on the inside just because there isn't anything really there that I want to stamp. So I'm going to open up my card and I'm going to put this here in the center. So if there was anything you wanted to stamp at this point, would have probably been best to do that before you glue this down so that if you messed up, you could flip it over, right? Okay, so closing this back up. So now the really super fun part comes in. So this is where we're going to take our belly band. I get asked this quite often about how do you do your belly band? So this is a 1-inch piece of paper. So I like to kind of lay my card down here. And then I like to then kind of find the center and then fold in my belly band. And so you want to make your belly band snug, but not impossible to get off, because the recipient, you don't want them to have to struggle, but you don't want your belly band to be sloppy either. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive down. Now, if you wanted, you could have actually trimmed down this tail on this belly band so that it's more in the center. However, I also know that my element on the top of this card is going to cover that. So I'm not concerned because this is actually going to go here like this. I could put it like this if I wanted to, but I think for this card, I'm going to actually go side to side. All right, let's get going. So I am going to actually use the rustic crate stamp here, and I'm going to use this image here, which is one of my favorite. And I'm just going to stamp this in standard black. So our memento black is a great option for this, but any black would work. You just want to make sure, I'm going to be using my blends. So you want to just make sure that whatever you're using to color your image can work nicely with your coloring element, if that makes sense. All right, I'm going to move my card out of the way. I'm going to put this down, and I am going to stamp this kind of in the middle there. So I'm not putting any sentiment as far as happy fall or anything like that. I'm just putting my image down. And carefully lift up. You can see it's nice, crisp image, which is exactly what I was looking for. All right, so now this is where the fun part / boring part for you comes in, because I am actually going to start coloring here. So I have my light pumpkin pie and I have my dark pumpkin pie. Now, some of my markers are kind of messed up, so this could be fun to see which is which. Okay, so I'm going to use my chisel end. And what I'm actually going to do is I am going to just kind of go over the lines where I want my darker color to land. So this is kind of where my shading is going to be. Now, I know that this is not the proper way to use our blends, but this is how I like to use our blends. So coloring is not my forte by any means, although I find it relaxing. So you're going to see on my light pumpkin pie here that my tip is very, very damaged. So let me see. I have another one here. Let me see if this one's better. Oops, that's the wrong end. So of course that's going to be better. This one is maybe a little bit better. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my light pumpkin pie, and I'm just moving my pen in, or my marker, into a circular motion. And just being very, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my chisel end here. And I'm just going to go around the flower, because the chisel end actually gives you more control, I find, in those really fine areas. So then I'll just kind of go over here as well. So the paintbrush end, as far as I feel, it's okay, but you have to be very, very cautious that it doesn't get away from you. Okay, so I've just kind of gone around the outside there. Then I'll come back with the paintbrush end, and I'm just going to go in a circular motion. And what that's doing is just applying the color, and it's blending the two, the dark and the light, so that you're not getting any of those crazy lines that we would get with our Stampin' Write markers. So Stampin' Write markers are fantastic markers. They have their spot. I'm just finding I prefer using my blends for everything now. So you do end up getting, I find you end up leaning towards one product over the other sometimes. So I'm going to try doing this in Old Olive. And again, my Old Olive, some of them are very well loved. So I'm going to do the vines or the veins or whatever, however you refer to them, on my leaves. And it looks very dark. It almost looks like this could be a mossy meadow, but it's not. This is actually my Old Olive. And then I'm going to again come in with my Old Olive, and this is the one that the tip is damaged. Okay, let me see if this is it. This is light mossy meadow. Huh, I thought I had another Old Olive. I do, it's right here. Let me see if this will, oops. Yeah, this one's not much better. My goodness. Okay, so note to self, buy some new Old Olive markers. I thought I had, but apparently I have not. Okay, so I'm going to use a chisel end then. And just same thing, just circular motion. Okay, and so again, with the chisel end, I find you have a little bit more control than the paintbrush end. But you, as you color, will find what is most relaxing to you and what works best for you. And then I have my corn cobs here. And of course, I'm going to do them in a yellow. So, oh, this is Lemon Lolly. I don't think I want to use Lemon Lolly. Let's use, my colors were all organized, and then Maya and I got creating the one day, and I think we just put everything back wherever there was a hole. Okay, so I'm going to use the dark Daffodil Delight, and just to do the corn, because corn, if you don't know, when it's ready, is actually should be a bright yellow, unless it's peaches and cream corn. Okay, so I know blends are intended to get the shading and that kind of thing, but I am actually using mine a little bit differently than normal. Okay, so I'm going to do my light Old Olive, because my tips are kind of messed up on my paintbrush, I'll just use my chisel end. Now, so you'll notice before what I did was I colored the vine or the veins first, and then I did the lighter color, and now I'm going lighter color. And then I can kind of go over that with my darker color if I choose. Okay, so what does that look like? So that will look like, I just want to make sure I have the right color here. I could go over this like this. Like that. Okay, and then I could actually bring back my old olive again and just kind of give it a little bit more coloring there. Okay, all right, so now I need to do my flower. So the center of my flower, I am actually going to do in a brown. Again, when I find my brown, I don't know, this is a little bit messy here. Okay, we're gonna do dark crumb cake. So I'm gonna do the center of this. Oh, apparently my dark crumb cake is there. Okay, I was like, is apparently dry because nothing is happening. Okay, so I think it might be dry. I think the lid maybe got left open. Huh, isn't that insane? Okay, so I'm just doing the center of my flower here. And then I'm going to bring in my Moody Mauve. So this is my dark, this is my light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my chisel end. And again, I'm just kind of going to go over some of those veins. And I just find this actually just kind of gives it a little bit more depth. And I know I've heard some people say they don't like using the blends because they're kind of intimidated by them. And I don't want you to become intimidated by these because honestly, they are awesome. Stampin' Up's done a very good job on these. And I just find they just are so smooth. So now I'm just going to use my light Moody Mauve and going in a circular motion. And I'm just going to be very careful when I get to the tips, but you'll find that as you move your marker, it kind of just, the ink just kind of flows out and kind of goes right where you want it to go. So you don't really have to guide it too much. You just want to be very cautious that you're not going too aggressive. Just take your time on these smaller imaged cards. Okay. Now, once I get this done, sorry, I'm trying to rush and I should not be rushing. And I did not put on my right glasses today, so this is always fun when I can't really see what I'm doing. That's awesome. Okay. So there is my one. So I know these are supposed to be like sunflower type, but I have actually seen flowers like this as well. I just find this so relaxing. Coloring this, and the pumpkin is just adorable, and so each week I'm going to showcase 2 to 3 cards for you around both of these suites. So I hope you really enjoy those. All right, so now we need some Wink Stella, but the other thing I like to do is I like to take my Balmy Blue, and I like to kind of just go underneath here and just kind of ground my images. Just so it doesn't look like it's just there, not really. This way it looks grounded. It looks like it's actually sitting on something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Wink of Stella, and if you don't have Wink of Stella, everybody needs a Wink of Stella in their toolkit. It's like the best wow tool you can possibly have. Very inexpensive, and it lasts you forever. It's a very, very subtle, and I do say subtle, glitter pen. And so on camera, you will not be able to see much, I don't think. But if you saw this in person, you could see how much glitter and bling I am adding to this card without adding a lot. Okay, so whoever gets this card, when they look at it and you kind of move it back and forth, you can see the shimmer. Can you see that? You can kind of see it on camera. All right, so now we are getting close to being done our card. So when I do things with belly bands, I generally like to apply the glue to the belly band, just because sometimes we get glue happy and we're so used to gluing things all the way down. And if we did that here, we would glue our card closed. So this one, I'm going to center. I'm just going to hold that there just for a quick second to allow my glue to adhere. Okay, so there is my first card. So I'll show you the card. This is the card I made the other day, and I will show you if I can grab it without everything falling on me. Here is a card that I made for our In Color Club. Same idea, just different paper. Okay, and then this one I actually have folding a little bit differently, but it doesn't really matter because I could take this off and flip this around. Oops. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So I love this with the Wink of Stella. I hope you can see how beautiful that is. Oh, shimmer, shimmer. And then that's my original one. So this is a really great card to give somebody. It's definitely like a wow. It's not your standard open and close card, which is super fun. All right, so that's card number 1. And again, if you love these cards, just let me know and I can post the measurements to them and go from there. All right, so now this next card, I love this color combination, and I'm using Pretty Peacock as my card base. And so what I've done here is I've actually cut off part of the Pretty Peacock, and these are scraps, so I don't need these anymore. And then I have a piece of Very Vanilla is going to go here. And then for this one, I have actually used this beautiful paper, which the back is like a leather couch, which I didn't care for. But this side has got Pretty Peacock, Mossy Meadow, and like a copper in it. And it's just incredible. So I have a piece of Mossy Meadow and a piece of my Designer Series paper. And then I have another piece of Mossy Meadow and another piece of my Designer Series paper. And then I have some elements here. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and I'm going to glue down my Designer Series paper to my Mossy Meadow. So Mossy Meadow and Tempting Turquoise, or sorry, not Tempting Turquoise. Oh, that's an old color. Pretty Peacock are not two colors I would have ever thought to maybe put together. But I love how they coordinate. So I strongly encourage you to try out different color combinations. The beauty of Stampin' Up! Paper is that everything coordinates, right? So there's not really a right or wrong. It's just you may or may not like the color combination you come up with. And sometimes some of my best cards come from mistakes. So definitely don't shy away. All right. So now that I have that done, this is actually going to go ahead and glue right on top of this Pretty Peacock, this is just a standard card. And then I've just cut it a little bit differently. So I'm not using any more paper than I would on a standard card. And this is the type of cards that you would see me do in a fun fold class. And they're just different folds. They're not really any more complicated or anything like that. So now this piece here, I'm actually going to place here. But I also do want to put my Very Vanilla in there. So I'm going to try to glue this as far over to the right as I can, leaving a small border. And then when that closes, it gives you the illusion of something really fun. Okay, so I'm just using a very, very light layer of Tombow there, and I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Okay, I'm going to hold that there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my inside. Oh, I have some pink on this one. Oh, that's fun. Wonder how I got that. Okay, so it's on the back of the card, so nobody's going to see it. Go ahead and, so this is what the card looks like. So bam, right? And I'll show you the card that I designed, what this card is based off of. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I die cut. Remember I said this die set had 2 of each. I was able to easily die cut 4 of these because I have 2 of each of these dies. And then I die cut the label, and then there is this teeny weeny little piece. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to stamp on that, but we're going to try. I think when I did the card originally, I think I actually did use it. I did it on the paper and then die cut it out. So I am going to use I am thankful for all that you do, for all you do. And I'm going to do I'm thankful in Tempting Turquoise. Why do I keep saying Tempting Turquoise? Oh my gosh, it's Pretty Peacock. I don't know why I keep saying Tempting Turquoise. Pretty Peacock. Okay, I'm thankful. I love this color. And then I'm going to be very brave. No judgment, of course. Because here we never have any judgment. I'm going to do as soon as I find it here, for all you do. And I'm going to try very bravely, is that a word? I'm not sure, to stamp this. Now it's a brand new ink pad too. I've just opened it up yesterday or the day before. Okay, not too bad. I'll take it. It's a little bit lower than I wanted, but that's okay. Put that one back. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to move these pieces out of the way. Number 1 is what I'm going to do. And I'm actually going to glue a green and a peacock, and a green, a green and a peacock, because I want them to be opposites, right? And I do need my dimensionals, which I left over yonder, I think. Yeah, right here. All right, so I'm going to pop up my sentiment. Like that. Okay. I'm going to attempt to glue this down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to run a little bit of the adhesive onto my label, as opposed to trying to do my label onto my card here. So the really awesome thing about this set is that it comes with a few different words, so you can kind of mix and match and make your own sentiments, which is kind of cool. Okay, so then I'm going to put, and it has these die cuts. I don't know if you can see that in the leaf. And then I'm going to put this one here. And then we're going to put this one down here. And this one right about there. And we're going to let that dry because I can see the white glue coming through there. All right, so there is your second card. Okay, you can see how super fun that was. So here's the card that I created last week. Very, very similar, right? Identical, actually. But I didn't do the inside on this one. But so that's what we have today. And this is the card it was based off of. So this is a few years old because of the paper. And then I just used a different die cut there. So you can see the versatility. You could actually use this for any occasion. And if you really wanted to, you could actually turn this into a gift card holder. So maybe just not glue it all the way down, just glue on the three sides, and that could be a little pouch to put a gift card in. Or you could actually put it here as well if you wanted to. All right, so those are our two cards for this week. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed that. Let me know what you think and if you like these. I'd love to see comments. And I'd love if you could share this video with your friends and encourage them to subscribe to the channel. And every Friday from now until the end of the month, I will be doing 2 to 3 cards and come back with new layouts, new designs, and that kind of thing leading up to the class happening at the end of October, or end of September. I'm so sorry. End of September. So anyway, hope you enjoyed those. I'd love to hear your feedback and your input, and we will talk to you very, very soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a